Ready to dominate at the plate? Blast Baseball is trusted by more major league and college teams than any other hitting solution. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 at checkout to save $25. All right, everybody, it is 9 o'clock. Let's get right into it. We do this show every Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitter Spaces. I'm Alan Gay, and this is Now D1 Speaks. Really excited about tonight. We've got Landyn Plaut. He is from California. He's a 25, uncommitted. Hey, Landyn, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Man, I am so happy to talk with you tonight. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Let us know where you go to high school and your travel team, GPA. And, man, how'd you get into baseball?
To start it off, my name is Landyn Plaut. I'm a 2025, and I attend Lincoln High School. My current GPA is 4.12, and I play for Athlete 911 along with Coach Butch and Coach Larry Wolf. Baseball started for me at a very young age, and I fell in love with it since. It's kind of been my thing ever since I was young, and I just love it.
Shoot, yeah, man. We all love it. So who introduced you to baseball to begin with?
My dad honestly did. At a young age, taught me the game, taught me how to play baseball the right way.
Landyn, I've got to tell you, man, I love that. Being a dad, there's no better way to start baseball than with your dad. That's how I learned baseball, and that's how my son learned it. I love it. What an awesome GPA, man. 4.12. You just finished your sophomore year. You're going to be a junior next year?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Man, that's big time. That's the way to do it. So let us know, Landyn, what positions do you play? And really, what are your strengths? And maybe a couple things that you just want to work on.
I play first base, and I'm a left-handed pitcher. Some of my strengths have to be that I have very good communication, especially when I'm out on the field. I'm very vocal. I also I tend to thrive in big situations. But honestly, from the physical standpoint, as a pitcher, I throw strikes and I pound the zone. And with hitting, I'm a tough hitter to get out. All I do is compete, honestly. I get up to the batter's box and I make their job tough to get me out.
Hey, man, I got to tell you, your strengths are good communication. You're a fantastic communicator, Landyn. You're just so mature. I tell you, I'm really, really impressed with you already. And I can tell you thrive in big situations, big scenarios. This is a big deal right here, man. You're absolutely handling yourself very, very well. So, Landyn, let me ask you, man, let's get some measurables. What's your height and weight?
I'm 5'10", 165.
All right, left-handed pitcher. So everybody loves velo. Maybe kind of walk through, what's your velo?
Well, right now I'm sitting around 80, 81, 82, probably get up to 83-ish. My main thing is I can throw it a little bit, but my strongest feature is definitely my location, and I know when to throw the right pitches for sure.
Man, I love that. What's your secondaries?
So I have my fastball, two-seam and four-seam, and then I have a slider, curveball, and changeup.
Full compliment right there. Let me ask you something. In a big situation, the big scenario, what's your go-to pitch that you got the most confidence in?
Honestly, I love the location with the fastball, but if I'm going with an off-speed, I'm probably going with my curveball.
Okay, fantastic, man. And you also said you played a little first base,
Yeah.
right? So you bat left-handed as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, I do.
Okay. Are you a power hitter, gap to gap, contact hitter? How do you describe yourself?
I hit for power. Occasionally. Like I can get into a few balls, but I'm mainly more of an average hitter. I'm a guy that's going to get on base and get runners over.
Okay, man, fantastic. Thank you so much for all that description. Hey, again, everyone that's joining us, thank you very, very much for being here, man. We absolutely support you guys getting on for the Twitter space, and we certainly appreciate you supporting Landyn as well. If you got in late, don't worry about it. We're going to record this space. One of the reasons we record it is we're going to retweet it out later, so you'll be able to hear it in its entirety. Tonight, we're talking with 24 Landyn Plaut. He is from California. He's a left-handed pitcher. He's uncommitted, and he's about to let us kind of know what it is that really keeps him motivated. What are you doing, man, just to keep getting better and better year over year?
Well, baseball is honestly my passion. I live and die for that, for the game. Honestly, anything I do is fun for me, whether I'm in the gym or out at the field, getting more reps, getting stronger. Honestly, anything that I can do for baseball is fun, and I think that's what keeps me going. Honestly, is just how much I love the game and my passion for it.
I can tell. There's no doubt about it. And you know what the great thing about baseball is? It is a game. And if you really treat it like a game and have a lot of fun with it, when you're working hard, it doesn't even seem like you're working hard. You know what I mean? And all
Yeah,
of a
for
sudden,
sure.
you're just improving. Hey, let me ask you something, Landon. You like to get in the gym? I mean, are you hitting the weights? Are you doing like body weight type stuff? Or kind of talk to us about your gym work.
Yeah, 100%. I'm in the gym all the time. My main factor is definitely getting my weight up in general. I want to be as strong as I possibly can when coming to the ball field, but also staying agile, being somewhat athletic. So I like to also stretch, make sure I'm stretched out. But in the gym constantly, I try to go at least 4 to 5 days a week. And during school, I mean, it gets tough, but sometimes I squeeze it in at 5 a.m. during school. But during the summer, sometimes I'll sleep in and go in at like 8 or 9.
Man, you're sleeping in and going in at 6:30. I love it, man. That's competition, right? I mean, that's competitiveness right there. So you're at the gym 4 or 5 times lifting weights. What's Give us a sense of some PRs, maybe, if you don't mind, like your bench, squat, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I do a lot of high reps, lower weight, but I've gone my weight up there. My back squat's around 270, 280. My bench is around 165, 170. And then, let's see. Oh, and my clean, I believe that's around 135.
Man, that's fantastic, Landon. You're doing an awesome job. So if you're just finished your sophomore year, are you 16?
Yes, I am 16.
Okay, that's big time right there, man. And I got to tell you, you're on the right track. I think you know that when you get to the next level, it's all about being strong. You're going to absolutely need to be in that weight room. So you are off to a great start, no question about it. Hey, let me ask you, Landon. I know that in your career playing since you were just a little kid, really get with your dad kind of kicking things off, and you've been in some big time games already. You have to have had a lot of memorable moments, big achievements on the field. But if you could really maybe kind of narrow it down and tell us about one, let us know what it is. And more importantly, tell us what you learned from it.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, probably my most memorable moment was from this last high school season. I was a guy that was between JV and varsity, and the varsity coach invited me up for the Easter tournament, and we were out. I forget what school we were at, but we were playing a D1 high school, and one of our pitchers struggled in the first few innings, and so they brought me in a bases loaded jam. Ended up getting out of the inning with 0 runs scored, and then continued to throw 4 scoreless innings through that game. Uh, they let me bat. Coming up in the fifth inning, I had bases loaded, down four, and hit a game tying grand slam, and that was honestly a big moment for me.
Man, that's a huge moment. That's like a storybook right there. And that just speaks volumes of certainly you, but your coaches as well, man. I give them so much credit. They absolutely recognize the talent. They understood the mental capabilities that you have, your mental strength. And boy, I tell you what, they didn't even question bringing you in into a really big situations with the bases loaded, and you absolutely paid it off for them big time. And then turned around and had an awesome at bat. I tell you what, man, that's the way to start a varsity high school career.
Yeah, that was very exciting for me. I was excited about that one.
I bet your parents were through the roof. I bet they couldn't quit talking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what kind of season did y'all have?
We did pretty well. I believe we took third in league, and then went on to playoffs. We won our first round, and then went up to Pioneer, where we got knocked out. But it was a rough game. We played well. We faced some very good pitching. We faced an Oregon State commit, and we hit well. It came down, I believe, to 1 or 2 runs, and they were on too. It was a close game.
Man, that's exciting. What a fantastic year. So, let me ask you something. Was that team, were they a bunch of seniors, or were you guys pretty young, or was it like a nice blend? I'm just kind of curious as to what next year looks like for you.
I believe that team. We both had some blends. We had some seniors of our own. I think they had some seniors of their own for sure too, because their starting pitcher was a senior, and he did well. But overall, our season was pretty well. And then, but going into our next season, I believe we'll be doing very good. We have Jake Redding as well. He's a 24, and he's going to be a big help this year in our season as well.
Outstanding, man. Thank you so much for that rundown again. Tell us about the summer. Curious about Athlete 911. How did you get connected with them? And then how's the summer been going?
So to start, I actually had a buddy that I grew up with playing travel baseball when I was younger, and when my younger team ended up like kind of splitting up and stuff, he let me know about 911, and so I came over and tried out and made the team, and I've kind of stuck with them since. It's a great program. They give us tons of fundamentals, teaching us the game, how to play it the right way, and this summer, honestly, it's been great. We have a great group of guys. They all play well together. We mesh well together, and we really show up to compete. Some of them are actually here listening, but it's been a blast. We've played well. We went down to Tennessee. We played some really tough teams, such as Dodger Scout team. We battled with them. We ended up tying. It was pool play, so they didn't let us go into extras. But I mean, we have a strong group of boys, and we had a great summer. We're going to continue with a tournament next weekend, but so far it's been phenomenal.
Man, it sounds like it. I love your enthusiasm, man, and you're just an encouraging kind of guy to listen to. When you were down in Tennessee, was that in Nashville? Was it a future series?
Yeah, it was the Nashville Future Series.
Man, that's a big time tournament right there. And how much fun, man, to travel across the country like that and get to play in a big time tournament. That's an awesome experience.
Yeah, it was a blast. I think the whole team can say they had a lot of fun.
Man, that's so cool. That's something you'll keep with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
So, Landon, I want to go back to your GPA, that 4.12. I don't know if you realize this or not, but that's a pretty good GPA. And I'm just wondering, man, with all the baseball that you play, you're in the gym 4 to 5 times a week, hopping up at 5 in the morning sometimes to be there. How in the world are you balancing your academics and your athletics together?
Honestly, I prepare weekly, especially when school comes around. Um, Usually around Sunday night, sometimes Monday night, depending on what I had. I'll lay out the week because usually I'll know what I have for each class, whether it's a project or homework. Usually I'll know about what I have, and so I'll just plan out time. So I'll be like, all right, I got to go to the gym here. I have school from these hours, practice for these hours, and then I make sure I always give myself an hour or two for homework if I have it that day.
Man, that's such a mature attitude right there. It's great time management. That's a skill that you'll absolutely be able to pay off for the rest of your life. That's a fantastic skill to have. Just the time, it's always kind of amazing. Sometimes you can really be successful in school. You can be successful in work, literally just by showing up. Sometimes, you know what I mean. And if you're kind of plotting out when you need to be taking care of your business and you just show up and then take care of it, you're going to be successful. And you can see it. You're absolutely putting down the track record, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, laying stuff out and being organized, it keeps you on track.
Definitely. Hey, again, everyone that's joining us this evening, thank you so much. We absolutely appreciate that. I told you earlier that we record this space. One of the other reasons we record it, we turn it into a podcast. The podcast is now D1 Speaks, and it's everywhere. It's on everything from the Apple, YouTube, Spotify, to little platforms that you never heard of, like Pod Chasers and Good Pods, and you just kind of name it. It is everywhere. And it has been amazingly successful. It's kind of blown me away. Hey, Landon, this is our 48th episode. We do this 4 nights a week, and it has just gotten such a big response. And I tell you, there's two groups that have really responded to it. One is parents. Parents have thoroughly enjoyed this because I got to tell you, it gives guys like their kids, like Landon, an opportunity to really be in a big time environment, a real environment to be able to answer questions and say, hey, this is who I am, and this is the track record I put down. And that just speaks volumes. I know parents are very, very proud to hear their kids be able to handle that type of situation. And then the second piece has been college coaches. It has really blown me away. I mean, coaches, I got to tell you, and I heard this from a really smart man just last week. I think he's even affiliated with Athlete 911. And college coaches, they will chase you if you have the ability. Number one, you got to have the ability. You're not going to play at the next level without the ability. I mean, you got to have it. But number two, it's that makeup. What are you? What kind of teammate are you? And what kind of guy are you off the field? That is really, really important because I got to tell you, college coaches want mature men because they want to be able to focus on winning baseball games. And I got to tell you, Landon, when I listen to you talk, you've got so much maturity in your voice. I mean, I would never, ever guess that you were 16 years old. I mean, you're just so well prepared. And then you got a fantastic GPA. And then, oh, by the way, you are a really good athlete. You're a very, very good baseball player, too. And that just gives college coaches such a sense of security that you're somebody that could absolutely represent their school when the time comes. So I tell you what, anybody that's out there, if you want to find some great podcasts, some great episodes, go find me. It's now D1 Speaks. I'd appreciate if you subscribe and you start listening to it. So, Landon, let me ask you something. You know, we were just kind of talking about your GPA and some big moments that you've also had. Tell us about any particular players or coaches that have really been influential in your development.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, I want to shout out my young travel ball coach. His name is Kella Olson. He played in the minor leagues for a while. Great coach. He taught me the mental side of the game very much so. Taught me how to like bring in the good moments, but be able to block out the bad because they're both going to come in either way. And being able to control your emotions is what brings you to the next level of the game. And he definitely implemented that at a young age, and it kind of helped me develop into the player I am today. But on top of that, I want to thank Coach Butch and Coach Larry. They've put me in some amazing moments in front of some amazing people, and it's been awesome. Honestly, I couldn't ask for a better baseball world, if I'm being honest.
Sounds like it, man. You have really surrounded yourself with big time people, top notch people, and that's the way to do it. Coach Olson, I'm kind of curious about that. What was the name of that team? And I know it was young, but what was the name of the team? And how did you get affiliated with him?
So he's that Kella Olson is with Golden Spikes. We were the Bruins when I played. We had heard from them from a friend that we played Little League with when I was younger. And so we went over there at a young age, and I played with them from I think 8 to 14. And so he was a great coach. I mean, honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better coach. He was able to teach me everything I needed to know, especially to get to that next level.
Man, he sounds like an awesome guy, no question about it. And I tell you something that really kind of stuck out, and I hope any of the parents that are listening and the other athletes, young athletes that are listening, he played with a very young team from the age of 8 to 14. I tell you, it says a lot to plant roots, even at a young age like that. And it's that consistency, and it's the same team over and over, and it's the same coach. It's very, very important because I got to tell you, I've experienced it. You know, I had a son that certainly went through travel ball as well. And it's hard sometimes if you're not playing where you think you should play. You're not batting where you think you should bat. You're sitting on the bench at particular times that you really want to be on the field. And it's easy to kind of jump from team to team. I tell you what, if you plant your roots and continue to develop, it really kind of sets you up for the future. And you look at this. Landon just said he was with the Golden Spikes, the Bruins, what, from age 8 to 14. That's impressive, man. That's a great run right there. And obviously, somebody like a Coach Olson really had a big impact on your life, and he had many years to be able to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
No question, man. So let me ask you something. Before your big games, hey, I'm sitting here trying to think when you first got called up from JV and you had your big time game, first varsity game. What
Yeah.
in the world, what do you do? And you don't have to say specifically that game, but all games. How do you get yourself mentally right to compete? Do you have any rituals or routines that you go through?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, any game day starts when I wake up. I mean, anything I'm putting in my body, anything I'm doing, I'm honestly thinking about the game. Um, but mostly, the biggest thing I do throughout the day leading up to it is definitely like visualizing. So seeing like what team I'm gonna be playing, on what field. I like to see like how am I gonna perform. I like to visualize it and put that in my mind like early. On top of that, I like to clear my mind. So like we'll do our team stretch and we'll hit and stuff, but then like when we have our time, because our coaches like to give us a few minutes to ourselves, kind of do what we need to do. I like to go off to the side, get some extra stretching in. On top of that, I like to clear my mind, just kind of like relax, deep breaths, clear like whatever I had that day from school or whatever. Just kind of get that out of the way because I know I have a big game, and the best way to play baseball is with a clear mind and having fun. So I like to do that to begin with. And then right before the game, I'll do a little quick prayer because I'm really big on that. And it kind of just sets me up and gets me in the right mindset to play a baseball game.
Man, I love that all the way around. You know, such a professional approach, the visualization. I think there's so much to that when you start just kind of imagining how things are going to play out and then you start seeing it in your mind before you do it. And really, you're putting in all the work before the game anyway. You've done all the practices, you've lifted all the weights. I mean, at that point, when you start the game, man, you've already thought about how things are going to play out and you don't need to be stressing, excuse me, about the mechanics anymore. That's when you just really kind of let all that hard work take over and just let the game happen. I love that. And I love the prayer. Man, I tell you what, there's so much strength in prayer. And I give you a lot of credit, for setting time aside and also telling us about that, showing that strength that how important your prayer life is to you as well. Landon, I tell you what, buddy, you're just a super mature guy, man. You're doing very, very well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No question. So let me ask you, what are a couple of goals? What's some short term goals that you'd really like to knock out before you finish high school? And then where do you really see yourself maybe over the next 2 to 5 years?
Yeah, for sure. Some of my short-term goals, I want to have a great, successful like varsity run. Obviously, I went up halfway through the year last season, but this season I'm starting from the beginning on varsity, and I want to make an impact. So like, some goals would be hit for a good batting average. I want to be upper threes, low fours. I mean, that would be pretty great. On top of that, I want to have a great pitching year, and honestly, I just want to have a successful run as a team because that would mean a lot. We have all the tools to do it, and I think we can. Um, Another personal goal that would be cool this year and my senior year would be to make first team all league. That would be awesome. Great compliment from the leagues. Um, but in long term sense, I would like to play baseball as long as possible. So getting to the next college level, getting to compete with a team of guys that want to do the same and want to put in the same work, that's ultimately the dream.
Shoot, yeah, that's the dream. Man, these are great goals. I love it too. And you were prepared for that. And I think that's a big piece for anybody's success. You really need to think out what it is that you want to be able to accomplish. And there's nothing wrong with, if you fall short, you fall short, but you kind of need to stick it out there in front of you and say, this is what I'm working toward. I love that you were prepared for that. And you were specifically, this is what it is that I'd like to be able to accomplish. Hey, again, everyone that's on this evening, thank you so much. I mentioned that we've got the podcast now, D1 Speaks. If you're interested in being a part of this forum, please reach out to me. I'm on Twitter at now_D1. We do this 4 nights a week. I will tell you that July is completely booked, and I probably about the first half of August now. But we are running this through the summer, and we're going to kind of go into the fall as well. So if you're a 24 or 25 or a junior college and you're uncommitted, please reach out to me. I'd love to be able to schedule time and get to meet you. Tonight, we're talking with Landyn Plaut. He is a 25. He's uncommitted. He's out of the state of California, left-handed pitcher, big-time talent. He's had a great hey, I tell you what, you've really had a great last 6 to 7 or 8 months or so, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been awesome. With travel ball in high school, it's been a blast and it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. All right, so ultimately, you want to be able to play as far as you can. Well, to really get as far as you can, to get to the next level, you need to be recruited. And, I know the recruiting rules have certainly changed. Certainly for D1, it's changed. But just kind of give us a sense of maybe where you are in the recruiting process. I mean, are you starting to send out emails? Are you going to camps? Have you had anybody reach out to you? Just kind of give us a feel for where you are.
Yeah, for sure. With the recruiting process, I mean, I'm a 25, so I can't talk to some schools because of rules and stuff. But throughout the summer, I've been going to camps and showcases and stuff, just trying to get my name out there. In regards to college, I want to find something that like kind of fits my major. I want to go into broadcasting or journalism, just so I have something to fall back on. Obviously, if I don't go all the way. um, But that's kind of been it. Showcases, camps, and then obviously collecting as much footage as I can to send out to with emails and college coaches.
Shoot, yeah. I think there's a lot of advantages to the way that the D1 changed the recruiting rules. I think it put a much more of an emphasis on development as opposed to being, hey, I'm committed in ninth grade or something like that. I think that really weighs in your favor. And I got to tell you, man, I think that's a natural fit from you just listening to you talk tonight. I could absolutely see you going into broadcasting. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I wonder if you'd like to co-host with me. But then if the problem is if you were my co-host, eventually I'd just be off the show and it'd just be you. I love it. Hey, let me ask you something here as we kind of wrap up the evening. And I've had a blast this evening with you, Landyn. I mean, you got a tremendously bright future ahead of you, and you're just a fun guy to talk to. If you had the opportunity to really give some advice to some younger guys, maybe somebody that is just kind of finishing up being on the small field and transitioning over to the larger field, and they're good baseball players and they really want to be successful like you, what kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, for sure. And thank you. Yeah, I've had a great time tonight. But some of the advice I've had or that I would give is just enjoy the game. I mean, you got to enjoy baseball for what it is because the time really does go by fast and you never know when it's going to end, whether it's an injury or you max out your potential at some level. I mean, it all's got to end at some point. So honestly, if you just enjoy the game for what it is, I think that's where you're going to get the most out of it. You can't treat it like a job or like something you have to do. It's got to be something you want to do. And being able to put things aside and having your priorities straight to like make your dreams come true, that's definitely what's going to get you as far as you possibly can in baseball for sure.
And I think that's fantastic advice. And it really sounds like that's advice that you've been living. I think that's kind of your attitude.
Yeah, for sure.
No question, man. Again, Landyn, I have enjoyed this evening so much getting to know you, really the character of who you are. I tell you, man, you've got a bright future ahead of you. I think it's so exciting. I mean, you are right here kind of at the doorstep of the rest of your life. You're really going to have to make some big decisions here over the next year or so. You and your parents are going to have to sit down and kind of figure out what it is that you want to do. And that is absolutely exciting, man. I tell you what, I'm definitely going to have my eye on you. I'm going to keep up with Coach Butch. I'm really interested to see, kind of the direction that you take.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. This has been a blast, honestly, and anyone who gets this opportunity should take it. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Man, Landyn, thank you so much for those kind words. This is what this show is all about. I absolutely appreciate that. Hey, guys, I will tell you, we're not doing a show tomorrow night. I mean, typically we do the Monday through Thursday, but we'll be back on Monday. On Monday, we've got a 25 uncommitted. It's Anthony B. He is out of Indiana. I tell you, this is somebody else you're going to kind of really want to dial into. He's a fantastic athlete. He's got great character. I tell you what, he also has a very, very bright future. Hey, Landyn, thank you so much again, man. I want to end it here. And I just, one last time, man, thank you so much for being a part of this show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Everybody, thanks for joining. And we're going to end it here. So good night.
Hey, let me ask you something. Are you ready to dominate at the plate this season? Blast Baseball is the #1 hitting improvement solution, trusted by more major league, college, and travel ball teams than any other. The Blast sensor attaches to the knob of any bat, providing real-time feedback with every swing. Metrics are automatically sent to a smartphone app, generating insights that allow you to analyze and improve your hitting like never before. Go to blastmotion.com and enter code NOWD1 and you will save $25 at checkout. Unlock your potential with Blast.